Alright, and it's looking like we might be back. Can you hear me, Travis? I've got to refix the stream.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I am just sorting out. Where are we?
Oh, good. Man, it worked so smooth yesterday.
Yeah, it was working pretty well. Just make sure you can see everything again.
Watch the stream. There. Yep, I can see it.
Alright, cool. Give me a sec. I'll just let them know that we're working again.
Okay.
Alright, we're up and running again, but we've lost players. They've disappeared to go and get drinks. So another minute or so.
I don't blame them.
It's alright. We can go through deck lists. So yeah, Paul's deck. Probably just gloss over it a little bit just because we just had it on stream. So yeah, he's got the Rosa Cecil with what have we got? 1, 2, 3. Only the 3 different Cecils. Couple of Warrior of Lights, couple of Porums, the Ridias, Garnets, a lot of relevant EXs. So 3, 4, that's 6, 9, 11. Oh, I only one. So 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 EXs. So I thought it might have been more considering how many he hit in.
Right? Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, oh, only 15? A mere 15? Who knew?
Anthony's deck is the pretty typical 3-color Cat 6 deck. So
is he running the Fiend?
He is not running the Fiend, and he is only running to the Demon. But probably the biggest, I'm not sure if I'd call it spice, but definitely divergence from what most people are running, is he has 3 copies of Unicorn instead of 3 copies of Amaterasu. So Unicorn is a Cat 6 card, so if you got Lock on the field, it effectively reads draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
if you cast it.
Nice.
And it did very well in the anti-aggro matchups. But yeah, it doesn't help at all against Shantotto, which is in... Is Paul running Shantotto? No. So Chris has got the only Shantottos in top 8, and they've been doing work. Considering...
I mean, that's got to be pretty huge when you know your opponent doesn't even have that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a lot less worried about flooding or getting punished for flooding your board. But yeah, it's... What do we have? We had two proper aggro decks plus Cat 6, a sort of a mid-rangey value aggro deck. All of which should be heavily punished. So Chris was saying that because he had the Fire Lightning Scions in quarterfinals. He was saying that turn 2 Shantotto is a very good thing. Alright, we have players, and they're starting.
Excellent.
So
here we go.
Mulligan from Anthony.
Yahoo! I mean, the Fiend showed up huge in the finals of the American one, so we'll see if he's missing it here. Without the Fiend, Paul's got to feel pretty safe with the Rydia. Like, what's the only thing Anthony can even do about that? Is it I guess he can bounce it with Unicorn, right? And then hit the Strago if he's on high enough damage?
Yeah.
Beyond that, Rydia's got to feel pretty good. Does a Castellan Empire Sid. Search is out. Edgar, so he probably has lock in hand.
Probably ditched one. Only one forward in breakstone at the moment.
Yeah. Doesn't value the Terra a whole lot, and it's hard to blame him, especially with no summons to recur, no forwards to bop. For Sarah, yep.
Yeah, that Terra is one of those cards that sort of when it's good, it's better than the fire forward version.
Yeah.
Or the new ice version, or the new ice forward. But when it's not good,
when
it's
not.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, nice draw. Anthony drew into both Shadow and it looks like Setzer. So he gets set up for a turn 3 Edgar on curve, assuming he doesn't have to pitch the Edgar for the Shadow. As Paul, of course, does the classic Sarah into Princess Sarah opening. It's so funny how much relevance that Princess Sarah got when the Sarah got printed, because before then I rarely really saw anyone use that card.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it get played.
Turns out when you can search out the white card color fixing and use it immediately, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of the things with the Moogle deck, in that you got so many different ways to search your color fixing.
Yeah. There is Sabin. Not going to opt to play the Setzer. Or sorry, yeah, Shadow. He pitched the Sabin for Shadow.
Yeah.
Paul does run Mist Dragon, so he can stop some of this break zone recursion of Anthony's.
So go to the overlay.
Everything okay?
Yep. So we're just fixing, saying that it's top 4.
All good. Semifinals. Yep. So Paul will put down a Tyro. Probably will search out. He valued Rosa in the last matchup. Goes for the Earth Cecil. Yep.
Might be just my phone there. That's weird.
Opts to pass after that. Anthony will put down Setzer on curve. He might just pass after that.
Yeah, I feel like he's not under any pressure. He probably should maybe be trying to accelerate a little bit, just with what the top end of Paul's.
I was wondering that too. Yeah, because I feel like if Paul gets set up, he kind of has a higher ceiling between like the Warrior of Light. That's a bit of a difficult card for 6 to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. Although
maybe I say maybe not with Setzer, since he can Dull Freeze it. Like,
yeah. And there's no Asuras or anything in Paul's deck to be able to just activate whatever gets Dull Frozen.
Presumably we're going to see Princess Sarah coming down. I believe Paul made her... No? Or thought he was just going to tap Tyro for the Sarah. Anthony does run Amaterasu, correct?
No Amaterasu's.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay.
No, just Unicorn. So we're playing a Porum and then the Princess Sarah.
Nice. Porum will turn off any Sabin Edgar shenanigans.
Yeah, very good card against anything
yeah,
that wants to actually attack too. As well. Yeah. Yeah, but stops Lock getting more than 1 trigger a turn, or stops you getting a Celis trigger. Looking at maybe Strago? No?
He could, like you said, he'll at least still get a lock. Yeah, he'll get 1 trigger off the lock. Paul said he didn't play against any 6 this weekend, so he's reading all these cards just to make sure he knows what they're doing.
Yep.
I don't hate the Edgar here because if you Edgar, then you're basically saying, hey, you got to pick one, either turn off Lock or turn off Edgar, because then he can just put the Sabin down and boop, send Porum packing.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be playing the 7 overly efficiently, but we'll just passes.
Wow, he just Lock and passed, huh? That's very strange. Generally, yeah, huh? It's always a little dangerous to just put the Lock out there and get potentially no value off of it. But he does leave one backup up. I don't know if he's got a summon in hand like a Unicorn that he could maybe use, but
yeah, just discard Thornton, not discard Thornton, not discard Thornton.
It looked like maybe he was considering Une there, considering he was paying 6 initially. I don't hate the Une. Bounce the Lock. You paid 4 for nothing that way. You could bounce the Shadow. Now he's out of his fire CP.
And then you just have
looks like
infinite recurring Amateras's to stop everything. Yep.
Yep. So I would assume Lock and Shadow are gonna take a hike back to the old hand.
Yep.
And Porum goes in for a point of damage.
Cheeky damage. No EX. It's a Gal.
Yeah.
And Interceptor.
Do we have Interceptor and Sabin? Yeah, see, that's what I don't really like. I don't like putting the Lockout with no value off of it. Like, you just exposed it kind of for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, you can understand trying to maintain hand size, but this is really... Like, the first thing I want to notice is, no Shantotos in Paul's deck.
Exactly.
So there's nothing really
he can
to
be
punish,
pretty...
like, just throwing out your entire hand.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I don't think Paul has any kind of board wipe in there, right? So he can just freely do whatever he wants. So, Interceptor, Lock trigger. Yeah, and then he's going to respond with the blank, of course. So Lock will get a single trigger.
Unicorn the Porum.
Oh.
Unicorn
Porum, activate Lock.
It's a way to get an extra trigger.
Yeah, and it does reset the counters.
He just showed... Oh, that's... Yep. Probably did that in the wrong order. But
why did he get... Did he draw 3?
No, it should have been... Because he...
Okay, so it was on the stack for the Interceptor.
Yep.
Then he cast the Unicorn, which triggered another time on top of the Porum blank, and then the draw for the Unicorn. It was just done in the...
It was... actually, no, it's done in the correct order. Yep.
I think technically it should have been reveal, draw, reveal, but I mean, I guess it doesn't super duper matter, but yeah, because technically it'd be the first reveal on the bottom, Unicorn on top of that, and then the final Lock on top.
Yep.
So yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think Khalil was just explaining that the reveal and draw was around the wrong way, but
yeah.
There's the joys of on cast where
I know
if it's a character, because casting a character doesn't use a stack, you get to choose the order of like the character's ETBs and the on cast triggers, because they still go onto the stack at the same time. Whereas if it's a summon, the summon goes onto the stack when it's cast. So any triggers then go above that. Yeah.
And then is that it?
They could lock again. At least you got some cards off of it this time.
We did invoke the full art rule for Setzer, of course. So
our
deck is now that much stronger because our backup line is so much prettier.
Yeah, I finally got my third
sticking
full art
around
this weekend. So
yeah. Une's sticking around, so ready to pull back some summons. I don't know what we've got in there right now. Yep, here's Rydia, presumably going to be followed up by Cecil. And now we're ready for some Rydia shenanigans. Fusoya, actually.
Probably only three colors, 3 elements.
Oh, nice. Another unicorn. This magic horse coming in clutch.
Yeah, I don't think it's, other than drawing cards, it's not really doing a whole lot though. There's so many Category 4 characters in Paul's deck that Rydia is going to end up on 4 or 6 counters regardless.
Yeah, very likely. But sometimes it can, even if you can just disrupt it a little bit, they're probably arguing. So technically, he needs to declare his targets with the Fusoya, I think. Or I'm not sure if I always get confused with the modal ones. I don't know if Fusoya
you still need to declare all the targets before you react.
Okay. So yeah, he's probably saying that it's like, hey, you can't, he has to, choose everything first.
Yeah. So Paul just putting a card off the top of his deck face down as his draw. And going straight for Amaterasu.
Which is going to be quite potent against something like Edgar.
Yeah. All right.
Now the unicorn.
And then we have the lock trigger over the unicorn.
It's so funny that like you can't draw the unicorn off the lock, but it does trigger it by casting it.
Yeah. Not quite sure what the query going on is, but
not sure either. Yeah. Paul is reading the unicorn. Obviously, it gets both effects. Not that the activate does a whole lot here.
Yeah.
But the card draw obviously is nice. Yeah, they're explaining something. Not 100% sure what they're going over. Okay, so unicorn should be on the stack. Lock trigger should go on top of that.
Yep.
So unless someone else wants to add something, currently we're saying reveal the lock should happen first.
Yeah, they're already going back to hand at this point. It's not the biggest deal, but there you go.
Yeah, technically the lock should go first, but I understand. But Paul's like, that's fine. I'm not going to do anything about it.
Khalil's on it. There you go. Then that. Now draw.
A lot of gesticulation there. Wait, why did the lock? Oh, I guess he had enough triggers with the Fusoya. So he bounced Fusoya back to his hand, or Fusoya bounced lock back to his hand.
So he still should have got the trigger off of the unicorn cast. So yeah, I'll just.
Did he not draw for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
whole lot of triggers and orders, and everyone's trying to do all that correctly. Yeah, I wonder if the judge got so caught up with like explaining whatever it was he explaining, then they missed. Oh yeah, make sure you actually draw off the unicorn. Since the Fusoya is what will resolve last. Imagine if you were trying to play a game and like you were just doing the most basic thing, like I'll just play a backup, it has no entry effect, it's just a backup, and then like 8 judges come in to correct you.
Alright, so what happened is because it's a May on Unicorn's second ability part to activate a forward and draw a card. Anthony forgot to actually declare lock as a target. And therefore,
oh really?
Therefore, what we saw was the reveal off of lock and not the unicorn draw.
Oh, okay, huh? Well, make sure you declare those targets then. All right, now Paul has quite the nice board. I want to say the demon here, but I don't even know what that does. And he's got Amaterasu in hand anyway, so he can cancel whatever the first thing is you do.
Yeah.
Oh, we go for new lock.
Yeah, new lock.
Paul could freely Amaterasu this if he wished.
And does
Yeah,
so.
I guess I don't think there's a reason not to.
Yeah. I mean, you've just got Une on the board, you just get it back. It's basically either if you need it or when opponent passes.
Yeah. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for 6 right now. The Porum just kind of throws a wrench into a lot of this stuff where you can't just abuse the lock or the Edgar.
Yeah,
And that's why the Fiend was so big in this matchup in the American one, because it could.
Yeah, I think one of the Fiend is definitely worth running in 6. It's one of those cards where when it works really well. But if your opponent has the answer for it, then yeah.
When it's not, hey, just throw it away for water CP.
Yeah. Or you expect it to do well, you throw 4 CP into it, and then it just dies to Amaterasu. Which against Rydia is always a thing, because probably less so with Paul's deck, because he's very high end on the summons. So he doesn't have a lot that he's going to actually pay CP for to be able to get a free cast off the Amaterasu. So it's a little less efficient, but yeah, you can still do it.
Anthony looks like he was kind of brought to a standstill, and I don't really blame him. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do against this board.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony's played against sort of this style of deck very much. There's not a lot of I don't think there was actually a lot of Rydia. There was a lot of Fire Lightning and a lot of 6, but not a lot of Rydia.
Yeah. You got 3 brutal action abilities on the other side. Rydia free summon, Unai get back to summon, Porum turn something off.
Mm-hmm.
Does go for Edgar.
Yeah.
Response to this, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, we can get back Sabin unless Paul falls asleep. We're not going to get the free shot off, but I mean, you will at least get one shot where you can.
Yeah.
You can use that other Sabin to take out the Porum.
Yeah, I'd say that Paul is just double checking and making sure that he does actually have that window to be able to turn off the Sabin, and that does work.
Yeah.
Yep, says that's fine to resolve.
Sabin will come down for 1.
Yep.
Presumably try to give him his effect through Edgar.
Yep. It's trying to do everything in one hit, but yeah. All right. Yep.
I'm assuming Paul did it vocally, because he didn't actually like point to any.
Yeah, I think he just did it vocally.
So we do have Porum off the field. That's nice, but we got a locked and loaded Amaterasu. Une can continue to get us back anything we want.
Although with the Porum off the field, the Sabin can actually start to get some value.
Yeah, absolutely. Can just start. Can't get the Rydia, but can knock down the Fusoya, and with any sort of combo piece, can knock out the Une.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think Paul minds losing the Fusoya that much. It just gives him an opportunity to replay.
Yeah, not at all. He's done his job. It's just a body at this point.
Paul probably just checking to see if he has his Kusith in the break zone.
Yeah, because he would love to get that Porum back. That Porum
is in his hand.
Yep.
Free cast it with the Rydia, because why not? Replay.
Don't mind if I go to 6 counters.
Yep. It's going to make Anthony draw another 7 to be able to get rid of it.
If he can draw 7 though, that's quite big because you can
Oh, yeah.
Sabin, he can form in response, and then you just Edgar on top of that.
Yeah, either
Shadow.
or, whichever
Yeah.
whichever sequencing works. Yeah,
You
Shadow
could drop the
Mog.
Celeste here, go for the discard, be like, all right, yeah, you burn the Amaterasu out of it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yep, that's what he's.
No,
Or
throws
no,
down
he
lock.
does the lock.
Get free Mog.
Well, I get block trigger.
Yep.
And yeah, now threatening like, hey, I'm gonna potentially go off with this lock if you don't do something right now. He could Amaterasu it. Won't kill it, of course, but prevents that extra card draw.
Yeah, it doesn't lose a
Which,
huge amount by doing so.
especially when you can just get it back with Une too. Would you
Yeah.
pull the trigger on that? Because if he draws into Sabin, yeah, okay.
Draws another lock. I think
RB, I couldn't actually tell you. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I think in Paul's case it is a space issue. He dropped a lot of cards to try and up his EX count, so he's even running like Opus 5 Sarah Mobius just as an EX because it can get back Warrior of Light or Cryo back up. Yeah, but he's running Thordens as well. And yeah, similar story with the Soiree Warrior of Light decks. Personally, I'd never build a yeah, pretty much if I'm Earth, first thing I'm putting in 3 Chantotto.
Yeah. We will party attack here, so Setzer will trigger. So we go ahead and dull freeze the Une. He, of course, responds by getting a summon, but the Une now will at least be locked down for that next turn.
Yep.
Chooses Leviathan, which Rydia can cast for free, which is quite disgusting.
Yep. That's yeah, between Remora and Leviathan, that's a pretty big bonus to running a lot of Cat 4 to keep Rydia at 6+ counters. And we are casting the Leviathan. Bounce to 7.
And get back
an Une.
Another Une from the break zone. I will just block. Yep, Edgar. Yep. Oof. It was looking good until it all fell apart.
Replay the 7.
Now he will have one window where the Une... Isn't the Une frozen?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say. He'll have one window where the Une... However, Rydia is obviously still going to have whatever powers she's got.
Yeah, there's only 12 summons in the deck, but...
You mean infinite summons when you can just keep pulling them back.
I was just thinking of his chance to redraw something he's going to use on the while he can't actually use
I got you.
the Une. Get some Moogles. He should have all 4 elements now because he usually puts the Princess Sarah on wind.
Yep. So he'll have
Pretty
water, wind, fire,
exists.
earth.
Yep. Yeah, we just need Captain
And
Planet.
just passes. Exactly. Heart, go planet. By your powers combined. I think he drew the demon, which I definitely don't hate here, but he's got to He's got to bait out the Amaterasu first. Did he get it back, or is the Amaterasu still in the bin?
No, I feel like he's got it back. I think he has it back. Plays the Celis.
Okay.
Maybe going for a discard.
Probably say, let's try to thin that hand out a little bit. If the Celeste party trigger can go off, that will be pretty big swing for Anthony. You can keep the Une down. You can take those backups out.
I think
say, actually, you won't be using Warrior of Light.
Yeah, if he does have the Amaterasu in hand, I think you Amaterasu the Celis in this spot. Like Celis is one of the key 100%. Cards for the deck. If you can't keep the lock off the field, you definitely keep the Celis off the field.
Yeah.
So your target priority is basically lock, then Celis, then Sabin.
He might be. It looked like maybe the judge was asking too, like, what do you want to do with the lock trigger? Are you putting the lock on top, or are you?
Yeah.
Forum's gonna try to blank lock.
Yep.
Which should succeed, and then
Amaterasu on the Celis.
Lock trigger reveal. Another lock. Do we have enough for Demon? Or is he one short?
I think he's 2 short. I think he's 3 cards in hand. He's one card in hand short.
And that Porum is going to have its full effect online next turn. At the end of next turn. We can still party attack. We'll get a Setzer trigger.
Keeping Une frozen is definitely a good idea.
There's a part of me that almost says hit a backup to prevent Warrior of Light, but yeah, you can't let the Une Rydia cycle just go on. You got to keep that down.
EX.
And a bonus burst.
Yep. Free Garnet in hand.
Oh, so much for that plan. He's like, well, if I can't do it through Une, I'll just let Lady Garnet here get me the card back.
Yeah, swinging with lock as well.
Yeah, why not? Hey, he's like, please block. Go ahead. Please give up your Rydia for this.
With the quality of the EX burst in Paul's deck, I think you definitely just.
Oh well, yeah. There's no reason to block this.
No.
I guess if you absolutely felt like you had to, you just trade out the Fusoya, but.
Yeah.
There's no reason to.
Yeah, Rosa. I don't think Paul's seen a Cecil yet, so the Rosa doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Do we have Warrior of Light this turn? You probably just, if nothing else, even just Garnet, get back Amaterasu and say, all right, whatever you keep trying to do, I'll just keep saying, no, you can't do that.
No, yeah, doing the Garnet. Oh, he's realised he tapped the wrong backup. Yep. There we go.
It's like, yes, I do actually need Earth to summon this card. Goes for Remora.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess he just wants a free cast for Remora, kill the lock.
He's got a lot of cards in
hand.
hand.
Yeah, he's got so many cards in hand.
Yep.
Rydia free casting Remora is quite strong, and even that is underselling how powerful it is.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest things that the Cecil Rydia decks can do.
Now the only window, since he didn't get back the Amaterasu, assuming Paul didn't draw another one, which he very well might have, this does give Anthony a chance to play the Demon. The Demon can't be targeted by Porum. It can dump that break zone. You can pick off any other than Rydia.
Yeah, you definitely want to be.
You could kill. Yeah, you could kill the Une, and then you can start using the Dull Freeze triggers on something else. As long as Paul didn't draw into another Amaterasu. Ooh, King Edgar, King of Figaro going right into damage.
Paul maybe has too many cards in hand. Just needs to do something. Mr. Dragon the break zone, maybe? Not Echo.
Yeah, puts on Ico. I'll say he had the Sarah too, so he could have played the Sarah Mobius. But goes to search out another copy of Iridia.
Yeah, always good to have
Probably
spare.
won't need it because this first one's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. But
yeah, about the only thing that the 6 deck can even really do against Iridia is bounce it with Unicorn, and
yeah, or
we've
Strago.
already gone through 2 of those. Yeah, no, we're still.
Yeah, I think you definitely. I don't know what else he's got in hand, but you just demon here and hope he doesn't have the Amaterasu. Even if he does, the Amaterasu alone doesn't kill it, which is nice. So it will still potentially be a threat the following turn. Come on, Anthony. Oh, no, he goes for the lock.
Yeah.
Not wanting to pull the trigger on the demon, unless he's trying to go for the board break this turn. But I mean, that surely it can just get blanked by Porum. Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that, and he's already got his 2 effectively free forwards on the field.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, looks like really he might be declaring the Porum there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Edgar.
Unless he was just trying. He was just wanting to stack damage.
Yeah. If he did use the Porum on the lock, then he could Edgar pretty freely here and then pick off the Porum that way. He might be counting cards too for the demon. Now Edgar would die to Amaterasu, so if he or even Mist Dragon, he'll get blown out. He'll get the Sabin effect still, but
yeah, he'll be like can still kill the Porum, but yeah. So both of them really a risky play because if he goes the Edgar, chooses targets. No response from Paul
he can load up on Sabins,
which is what he's doing.
I don't know if he's got Strago or Gao in there. Could always prep those as well. So those are his targets. Yep, no response from Paul.
Yeah, Anthony's still also a reasonably new player, so.
Oh, is he?
I think probably about 6 months or so.
Oh, nice. Well, so that's the end of Porum.
Yeah, so it may not click that the Strago S when he gets to 3 damage is enough to actually kill the Iridia as well. Or he's just maybe not prioritizing it because he's not on 3 damage yet.
Yeah. So we'll keep the Une Dull Frozen, which the Setzer is putting in real work right now, limiting what that Une can do. And a Mist Dragon into damage. Good hit. Man, 6 is clawing its way back into this. I mean, Paul still has the free Iridia, but now he's having to like find the summons instead of Une just letting him toolbox for every once.
Yeah, and he's already got both of his sort of main ways to get summons back on the field.
Yeah.
There's a 5 backup, so he can't play the Cryo.
Is this Warrior of Light?
Yeah,
there he is. I'll say.
There we go. That certainly should make things a little bit easier for him.
Yeah. A good beater, but again, 6 now with the ability to dull freeze it.
Yeah.
And he does have enough Sabins. He could blow it up if he wanted to. I don't think he quite. He's also, but if he keeps this board state, I mean, he's threatening the lock, kill your board next turn.
Yeah, for sure.
So Paul either needs Amaterasu or he needs to get one of these cards off the board.
I'd be pretty tempted just to throw. Actually, it's not even going to work this turn, but yeah, if there was still one of the bigger forwards up, I'd definitely be trying to throw for Sawyer or Garnet under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. You two have done your job. Get under there.
Okay, Cecil.
There's Big Cecil.
Yeah, Cecil special is relevant.
Yeah, that is a good one. Although he can dodge it with the 7 shot. It's 8,000, isn't it?
Yeah, 8,000.
Okay. Unless he targets Sabin himself, but he paid full price for that too. It's gonna increase Rydia to 8 counters, although I don't think that really matters.
No,
you have his list. I don't know if he's got anything above a 6. Yeah, okay, so Rydia's just flexing at this point. Yeah. She's just lifting weights in the background. Even if he sacrifices this, like, I don't think you care. Because, again, I think you are going for the lock board wipe. But, like, if he gets the wind Cecil, okay, you don't have to target it. If he gets the blue water Cecil, okay. Again, you're not going to shoot it with ability damage. It depends what he can play for free off of this. Does he have another Porum? Because Porum's going to be gross.
Yeah.
But Porum, if he plays... Yep. Yeah, okay. Yep. So Anthony needs to right now shoot that Porum with the Sabin. Yes, he's going to have to pay extra, but you cannot go to your turn and have that Porum turn off the lock.
Yeah.
Or maybe wait and see if Paul attacks first, but see if you get a lucky burst. Hey, there's a bonus burst. There's that Strago. And Paul's like, wait, what does this card do? There's the Demon. There's the Sabin. Sabin or Demon.
Goes for Sabin. It's just stocking up.
Yep. Yeah, Anthony needs to... Because if Paul doesn't have anything, Locke is going to clear this board. So when Paul tries to pass, I'm 100% blasting Porum to Kingdom Come. I think you just take this too.
Yeah.
Say, okay, I'll go to 4.
You got no reason to lose your Lock or your Edgar over it.
Exactly.
Lock EX.
And there's another bonus burst. We'll draw a Setzer back up. Not a great card, but easy to pitch. Send in Garnet, put him to 5. There's another Sabin.
Yeah, you don't really care about that though.
And is he going to try to misdragon the break zone? Yep, okay. Draws a card. Definitely looking for an Amaterasu. Okay, Anthony cannot... He has to kill this Porum. No, he didn't do it! Anthony, what are you doing? Oh, no, he had it. He had it in hand. We know he had it in hand.
I think isn't half of his hand is 7.
Yeah.
3 sevens, yeah.
Like, this Porum is just going to turn off this lock. Right? Or I guess he can try to bait it out now. He's saying, hey, if you blank this Sabin, and now the lock's going to come through. Which, if you're Paul, I think you just take the Sabin shot. Like, I don't think... You've got a Cecil. He's going to tax it every time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you cannot let this lock board... Again, maybe he's got Amaterasu in hand, so maybe he's not fearing it. I can't tell what he's got in hand, but...
Yeah, I mean, Amaterasu will stop the board wipe, but... you can always a 7 special so the lock survives, and then you can just do it again next turn as well. So you really...
Yeah.
Like, Porum is what's really going to be doing the work.
Yeah, it's not going to reduce Lock's power right now, because Porum only has 1 counter on it.
Yeah.
You still got the Demon.
Unless he's happy to just dull his Warrior of Light to kill the lock with the Amaterasu. Here comes Demon.
Here he comes. No, maybe bow before mine infallible judgment. Interesting. He tapped the interceptor though. Did he not have? Maybe he didn't want to pitch any fire. You're probably not hasting
Ice,
the demon this turn. But...
water. It looks like he did.
Yeah, I guess all the fire are the Sabins, and he didn't want to let those go.
Yep.
So if you don't want to pay the Cecil tax here, he left the backups for it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's exiling the break zone and sending Cecil to the Shadow Realm.
I have a feeling it might be Cecil. It could be Warrior of Light as well.
Yeah, it could be Wall. He could have also just declared a job. He could have said like Paladin. That would have cleanly gotten rid of the Cecil. So he clearly targeted something.
Yeah.
He could have declared the element water, but it would only clean up the Porum. Everything else would live by. Exactly, Curzon. I mean, surely if Paul had like an Amaterasu, you would just use it. Unless, again, he's just saving it for the lock. Because I don't think Porum is triggered yet.
I don't think so, not yet.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Edgar powered up the Sabin.
It did look like it.
Yeah, he made a hand gesture like he was... Of course, we can't hear, so we're kind of just guessing, but... Does Paul have a response? I mean, it's pretty much got to be Amaterasu or bust, right? Like, Mist Dragon doesn't prevent this.
Point, yeah. Unless he's got... He might have the Amaterasu and just be holding it for... he's definitely... I don't think he's got two Amaterasus. Leviathan off of the Rydia.
Alright, well, yeah, you don't have to fear lock if you do that.
Gets back a Porum. And bounces the demon back. And then Cecil dies.
Interesting, okay.
He does have fire up, so he can still hardcast the Amaterasu.
Yeah, if he's got it. So if you're Ant, like I can't see a world where this lock trigger is gonna go off.
We don't go for the 4-party.
What? Why? I mean, if he didn't blanket with Porum, like why? Yeah, why wouldn't you?
He might have blanked it with Porum. He could be.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he could have vocally said it and we just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Which is why I really wish Anthony had popped the Porum at the end of the last turn. There's a bonus burst. We get back the Cecil, the one card in the break zone.
Yeah. He's not. He hasn't taken. Yeah. So all of his forwards have first strike.
Yep. So I wouldn't block that, Paul. I mean, technically he could block it with Warrior of Light and trade.
Yeah.
They've all
he's got enough power there, though. No, he's unless he wanted to buff with Princess Sarah, he's not quite enough power to be able to take.
Yeah, even then he'd only take out one of the forwards.
Yeah, still only one. Yeah, it's not worth. You've got all these impactful EXs, you may as well, just like EX a Tyro or a Thornton, and it's basically completely swings the game again.
Well, presumably, if we did then blank the lock. Well, wait a minute. What did he take? No, he didn't blank the lock, right? Because isn't that where the damage came from?
If they're still trying to work out the blocks, then yeah.
Because if he didn't blank lock, why else did he take the hooded man damage? Like that should have been the lock trigger.
Yeah.
So if that was the case, why would Anthony not go for the
We are
board
trading.
break? So he's gonna shoot lock for 5.
Yeah.
Put 2 on lock.
Left.
And then put 9 on, which you could Sabin special there to keep those alive.
Yeah.
So
15, 16. Oh, no, it is just enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so lock was not blanked because it
Yeah.
triggered the party. Like I'm very confused right now why he didn't just wipe this board.
Yeah, very much.
Did he forget about it? Some people forget because that effect doesn't go off too often.
No.
That's what that card does. And did he even use the Sabin effect that turn?
No.
Well, no. So maybe he did blank the Sabin. Like maybe when he went to
Yeah.
do the Sabin, he blanked that.
Must have.
So why not? I don't know. Dave, help me out here. I'm struggling.
No, I don't know. I think that's a misplay. We're going Water Cecil. Which will turn off the 7. Because that's
It's like that old
Y'shtola effect, isn't it? The summons or abilities below 0. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He can't damage anything on the board, the Cecil or anything else.
No, but he has to block.
Although I'd be surprised if. I guess Paul doesn't have huge bodies to push through this turn, but.
Oh no, but if you pull, you definitely trade off your for Sawyer.
It's like it's like that movie Airplane, the parody, where they're like, "Oh, we should turn on the landing lights for the plane," and the guy goes, "No, they'll be expecting that." That's how I feel with that. It's like, "Oh, well, we should just board wipe their board." No, he'll be expecting me to do that. What's happening?
It's a field effect. It's just what?
Like
now he realizes he discard hand for no effect.
Oh my goodness! No.
He got tilted by that demon play, I think.
Not like this.
No.
Not like this. Oh man, that's
rough.
I thought at first maybe he was just using Chakra because you could bump the Edgar to 9 and then protect. Yeah, like
all of his forwards gain 1k as well.
Yeah, they're all one bigger. Oof. Man. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Like he had it. Like, or I don't know if he would have had the game, but he had an opportunity there to.
I think if Paul didn't have an Amaterasu for the lock, 4-party trigger, then that was easy game.
Yeah, which he very much may have. We couldn't see his hand.
Yeah, and that's game 1.
But even if he has it, like if you're on Anthony's side, you got to go for that. If you've got the opportunity, make him have it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he had a handful of Sabins as well. So you do the 4-party and then you activate everything but the Sabin.
Yeah. Well, and there was, I really liked if you popped the Porum at the end of his turn. Now he can't blank the lock. He can't blank the Edgar. Like it just gives you so many more options. Even if Paul somehow like had a Kusith to use to slap it out again. Okay, well at least you now got another 2-3 cards out of his hand. Like. So Anthony will get to go first.
Yep.
Which I think he went first last time anyway, but
Yeah, because he's the top seed, so he's going first in every match.
He either needs to put on a little more aggression, or just hope Paul doesn't get the setup he got, because the Rydia Une just was just and then the Porum too. The Porum is just so big in this matchup.
It needs to be a lot more aggression. You can't give Paul a chance to get set up. He'll just have too many options, too many ways to wall you out, and then eventually all of his recursion will just start chipping away at your field, and he'll be able to start pushing through damage. Not to mention he's got pseudo unblockables like Garnet and Fasoya that you want to, it's like back in Opus 9, Opus 10 with Porum. It's like this little 2k forward that you just never wanted to block.
I'm guessing Anthony does not run the Opus 4 discard legend lock, correct?
No. He's got 3 of the
that would
Opus
be really
20
nice
block.
to hit the hand size.
Yeah. No, just 3 of the Opus 20 and 3 of the Opus 15.
I gotcha. Well, there's a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas there. But put that game in the past. Anthony's got to focus on this one. Ooh, I don't like throwing out the Edgar, but it looks like he had another one in hand. So.
Yeah, I don't mind pitching a spare Edgar.
Just a Moogle from Paul's side, which I mean does give him access to 2 colors, but it's not the Princess Sarah ramp opening.
Nah, he might have an Aiko or something similar in hand. Just wanting to play. Yeah, Aiko.
There goes Edgar. Probably. He's going to have to get back. Did he pitch double Mog?
Looks like, yeah. Which he which he got back.
Setzer here would be quite nice, or even a Banana Sid. Does he run the new Celis?
No, just 3 copies of the Opus 15 one.
He
like
has
a
Terra.
New one.
Yeah. There's lock. Okay. Nice early lock. He is leaving it exposed without value, but Paul only has a single backup, so even if he like Unes it right now, it's gonna at least cost him quite a bit.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably just Tyro. Unless he drew the Sarah.
If he's Tyro too, you could go get Porum, just slap Porum down right away.
Yeah, just hope he doesn't have a 7 in hand. No, Thornton. Going for Cecil. Oh, he might have a Rosa in hand, so he's gonna just discard a card for the Cecil. Just go like Rydia, Rosa, Cecil.
Do the play. But with no Porum, if Anthony can get some cast off this turn off the lock, he can storm off into oblivion. Hopefully he doesn't run into an EX burst. No, it's a Une. I don't know, man. His attacks are making me nervous. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Or you just hit 2 of the best cards in the deck. That's fine too. He just passed. He didn't do anything. You wouldn't know this lock has text right now. You wouldn't know this lock has text right now, as it's just been sitting there.
Did he forget that Paul's deck doesn't run Chantotto?
I don't know. Or maybe he just has a dead hand. Like, he can't use the Mogs. We know that. So maybe he just didn't draw anything playable. He drew the 4... I know he drew the 4-cost Fire Savin. That doesn't do anything here.
No, that's just 5 CP.
So yeah, maybe he... Excuse me. Maybe he just had a terrible draw and didn't know what to do with it. Here comes Rosa, going to be followed up by Cecil.
We have an update from the other semi-final match. Chris
Ooh,
has
what do we
defeated
got?
Daniel Coombs 2-0.
Mr. Matisky going to the grand finals.
Yep.
Means we'll get to see that sweet Moogle list. Curious to see that baby in action. Although I wouldn't have minded seeing Black Waltzes again either. But we at least got to see that on stream once.
Yeah. Did you see the list that Chris posted on?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So Cecil attempting to take a point of damage. We draw first. Boom! Cecil hits a copy of it. That's kind of appropriate. The Dark Knight staring at the Paladin in the damage mirror.
Hmm.
Are we just gonna change it out right away? I don't think there's really a need to yet. Probably want to wait till your opponent's turn anyway. That way we get the draw off the Rosa.
Yeah, I think the only thing you'd swap it for would be if you had a Warrior of Light in hand.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, okay. He's still in the middle casting. I thought he just pulled a card back from his breaks. I was like, wait, what is he doing? And passes it.
It's probably the draw from Rosa.
Might be asking about the cost reduction. You can pay for that with the Rosa.
Yep, Rosa lets you discard anything but light or dark to pay for the Cecil as long as you take a point of damage as well.
And we draw, we've got new lock, Opus 20 Legend lock. We do have a unicorn. So if he goes to swap the Cecil, you could bounce the Rosa on the stack, and that way he wouldn't get the card draw.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's something. Because I don't think he has any other backups is the problem. I think Anthony is fine. I don't think he found the Opus 17 Sabin. Otherwise, he could threaten to just blow some stuff up.
Discard a Gal. Yeah, discard Unicorn.
Make sure to declare it that time.
Yep.
Yep, Paul's gonna go ahead and change the power of the Dark Knight is no longer suits me. I shall become a paladin. So we'll get the draw off the Rosa. Rosa will go back to hand, but it's a 1 cost, so who cares? He can just replay that easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately,
and let's see what Paul can
attacks the unicorn targeting, but
yeah. Let's see what Paul can play off of the Cecil. Did he draw Warrior of Light?
no, just
no, but
Sarah.
Hey, free Sarah,
Okay,
we'll take that.
Yep.
Heck yeah, we'll take that.
This will get him all of his elements as well.
Yeah. And finally, Unicorn and Lock.
Oh, Mr. Dragon. Should have cancelled the
Wow.
Unicorn. Deny the
Oh
card
my
draw.
goodness. But you will still
And
get the
the
Lock
Vents.
reveal, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that worth it? Give him up a Mist Dragon for that? Like, you can replay the Rosa incredibly easily. He still gets a reveal. Got the Gestelian Empire Sid, which I think if you can, you overpay from hand so you can get Sabin out this turn and just pop off Cecil. Like,
Unless he was banking that Anthony had been super hard bricking.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that Mist Dragon. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's not a lot of summons in this, but I mean, yeah, you denied him a card draw, but you paid 3 CP for that just to protect a Rosa you could have put down again next turn anyway. I don't know. Sabin's obviously pretty clean here. I honestly don't even hate. No, it goes for Celeste. Celeste is good too. I honestly don't even hate the demon. And just say, well, bye to your break zone.
Yep.
Just declare Paladin. Don't even have to well, no, I guess you'd have to target him if you did the break zone trigger, but
yeah.
And like you said, when you know your opponent doesn't have a Shantoto, like legit, what does he do about the demon? He can't target it with Porum. He Warrior Lights twice somehow, which I don't know how he can do that in this deck. There's a free Mog. Digging for Setzer most likely. There's the demon.
Yep.
I don't hate going for Celeste either. Discard. Yes, Anthony is the first seed.
Yep. Yeah, so this is first seed versus fourth seed.
There's Celeste.
All of the bottom bracket ended up losing their match.
Can he find the Setzer? No, finds Terra. Not the backup he's looking for. Searches for Lock, actually. Wow, I'm kind of surprised he picked that over the discard. Those are his few EX bursts, too, so he's taking one of those out of the deck. But maybe he wants a backup. Maybe he's afraid he's going to do something to it. He was digging for that Setzer. If he could have gotten Setzer this turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Granted, the Cecil would tax the Setzer for the Dull Freeze. So I don't know. Maybe that's not that great. But you'd get the Celeste trigger, too. He had the 17 Sabbath in hand, right? Like, why not drop that? Just pop this Cecil right now. Yeah, you'll have to pay a tax. You're going to have to pay it eventually.
Yeah, unless he's still a little bit in new player mode and just scared of paying the tax.
Maybe. Yeah, so sometimes those taxes can be intimidating, but it's just like, dude, you're going to have to pay it at some point.
Hey, Anthony's the first top seed in the last 3 majors to not lose round in quarterfinals.
Oh, nice. Terra gets back the Unicorn,
Yep.
Lock trigger. Okay, I like this. There's another Celeste. He was looking for the Setzer, but yeah, no dice there.
Yeah.
Tax with Lock. Putting Paul to damage 4. And there, bonus burst. All right, Paul.
The biggest of
anything
bursts.
You want in your deck, what do you value? Anthony avoided it for 3 hits, but Thornton always comes a calling. The Thornton always comes due. Actually gets another Cecil. That's interesting. I wonder if he's expecting Wind Cecil to die. And finally, we'll pass. So Paul obviously got a lot of value off of the Cecil, the Rosa, etc., but
hasn't been able to do a lot with it though.
Yeah, he doesn't have Iridia. He doesn't have Warrior of Light.
Yeah.
Une would be nice here, getting 2 of these things off the field. Although
he still has that Princess Sarah, which could be affecting his how he can pay for things as well.
And if I'm Anthony too, maybe, I don't know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe in a way you just try to keep this Cecil on the field and don't let him play another one. We'll see. I guess we'll see what Paul does with this turn. There's the Princess Sarah, presumably going to be Wind. Still no Earth though. Pitches spare Cecil. There's Porum. Porum can make a huge difference. Yep. Although we do have Unicorn in hand, so we can bounce the Porum. Obviously, we're going to have to pay the Cecil tax, but yeah, just passes. Draws an Interceptor and Sabin. All right.
Yep. Do notice he's leaving his Fire CP up, representing Amaterasu, though.
Also true, yeah. Although, it doesn't really do anything against Sabin.
No, not against Sabin. Can stop a Celis party trigger, and you probably do use it on that.
Absolutely.
Here comes Sabin, though.
I don't know if you even go for... I think you just go for lethal by swinging one at a time. Just send the Mog in first, give everyone first strike, and be like, all right, well, block this, sir.
Yeah, it is not a field of big forwards.
Yeah, the biggest thing is Cecil at 8k. And if you have a spare Sabin in hand, you can shock her anyway. Orem attempts to blank Sabin, but has he tried the Edgar trigger yet? Because you can respond with the Edgar trigger. I don't know if he tried to do it.
He missed it.
That's unfortunate.
Strago?
There's Strago. Well, if he hasn't done the Edgar trigger, I mean, Strago doesn't do anything right now, though, right? No. Because there's no damage.
You reduce it by 0 power.
Yeah, take that. Become weaker by nothing. Well, there's 3 backups and a Gao.
Yeah, big whiff. And the all backups that he already has in play as well. Oh no, he's Shadow.
You just take the Gao. Well, yeah, you can take Shadow. I thought that was Interceptor at first, too.
Same. Yeah.
Interceptor for Shadow. Lock.
Yes, another lock.
Another lock.
Still no Setzer.
I wonder if Paul's thinking right now, maybe I should have blinked that lock. Instead of letting my opponent draw 8 cards. Yeah, if Anthony's planning to attack this turn, I like just you send in the Mog by himself. Give everyone first strike. If you want, you can party Celeste and Lock after that. Get back to Sabin. Well, no, the getting back to Sabins are kind of pointless. You'll have to pay a one-time tax, but you just freeze the backups. So, trigger.
Party. I guess pretty much
Do we have Amaterasu? Yeah. Do we have Amaterasu?
So it's targeting
it's another Sabin, even though it doesn't do anything at the moment. But I mean, he could always blast something on his turn.
No, it goes to the Gao.
Targets Gao. Yeah, I don't hate that. Especially if Paul tries to kill something via any kind of damage, you can just whoop. Have Gao come in and save it. Is he putting Gao on the field? No, he's okay. No. He's just showing the target. I almost like the freezing the backups just because you can lock out the Warrior Light. But I wonder if what you said is true. Like, I wonder if he's just like, I don't want to pay that tax no matter what.
Yeah. Ooh. Well,
all hits Amaterasu into damage. Oof, what a hit. Here comes first strike lock. Yeah, no EX burst. Ooh. EX burst were not in Paul's favor that time, even though he did get Thornton. Actually goes in with Edgar. I mean, he has the Gao.
Yeah, he's got the Gao now, so...
Yeah, if he blocks the Cecil... I mean, he has to block something. I would assume you just give up the Rosa here. Keep the Cecil on the... Unless, give up the Rosa, keep the Cecil on the Porm around. I guess you could, if you really wanted to do the, to put in the Earth Cecil, but he may have pitched that. I don't know if he still has it in hand. 6 looking a lot better in this game.
Yeah, Paul's has struggled to get anything going.
Yeah, no Rydia either, so he hasn't been able to rely on that like he did in the last game. Or I'm probably blinking 7.
Yep. Sawyer, maybe?
That would be my guess. Man, how free can you play with your forwards when you know your opponent doesn't run Shantoto?
Yep, for Sawyer.
So wind, water, fire, and earth. So he's going to get 3.
Yeah, everything.
So draw a card.
On top.
Who do you think he's putting on top?
I said everything but put a forward on top. He gets.
Yeah. He can bounce a character back to hand. Yep. Who do you bounce here? I guess the lock.
Yeah, lock.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
Everything else has a entry other than the mod, but he's free anyway. So
yeah.
The lock at least you have to pay for and get nothing out of it.
Yeah, everything else entry or basically free.
Paul's got to find a way to not die here, though.
Ditches Warrior of Light for Garnet.
That's Garnet. So he had Warrior of Light? Oh, he didn't have Earth. That's right.
Yeah.
He wasn't fully... Even though he's got 4 backups, he wasn't fully set.
Gets back at a 6 CP Leviathan.
Which will get 1 forward off this board, but I don't know. That's still a lot. Granted, you got a lot of blockers. I'm Anthony this turn. I'm going to try to find a way to leave up Interceptor. And just threaten as much as I can. We drew a Savin Special the hand. I think you Savin Special right now. Or maybe you get the lockout first. You Savin Special. If you're worried about the tax, target Cecil first. Otherwise, target Porum.
Go straight for the Porum.
Because he can respond with it, and then you just have Edgar give it to him for free.
Yeah. He's finally learned his sequencing for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
He will have to pay 2 taxes, but who cares? Yeah, I'm assuming Paul is just verbally saying stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judge is there to help try and make sure all the sequencing is correct. I'm assuming, without being able to hear them, I'm assuming it was immediate or a bolt on Porum.
Yep.
And then respond with blanking, presumably Sabin, Edgar on top, Sabin again to the Cecil. Yeah, it looks like they're discussing that. Which 100% works in Anthony's favor as long as it was sequenced that way.
Yeah, he's got tons of cards in his hand, so he can pay the tax very easily.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of spare dead backups there, too. Yeah, chuck those out. Huh, surprised there's this much confusion. Itching 3 for Leviathan? So maybe he's trying to bounce Sabin before Edgar gives him his effect?
Yeah, I think so. Bounce Sabin with the Edgar effect.
Yeah. Which the first Aura Bolt should still go... So then, yeah, now you can just not pay the second one.
Yeah.
Or I guess if you never even got to that point. and you just pay for the first one.
Yeah, maybe Anthony was, unless Anthony did mess up and the Porum.
I mean, I know. Well, again, we can't hear them, but 100% the first thing he did was he just discarded the Sabin and pointed at the Porum. So I'm assuming that was an immediate Aura Cannon.
Yep. Alright, that's paying the cost. Porum dies.
Yep, Porum's gone. Sabin got... I mean, you can replay Sabin if you've already blown the Edgar trigger. Obviously, you won't get that again, but...
No.
You could play the lock first. Leave the Interceptor up, threaten the haste. Especially if you have another Sabin. If you have another Sabin, you GM everything possible out, haste whoever, Maw goes in for the first strike, and then you just... He's on 6. He has to block everything with 3 8Ks.
Yeah, replay 7. Doesn't bother with the lock.
I mean, yeah, you could legit just swing Mog. Oh, the only problem is you have a bunch of 7Ks, so like you would really want a Chakra here.
Yeah.
If you have Chakra, it's over. Assuming Paul doesn't have some kind of trick in hand, but he already expended the Leviathan.
Yeah, I think he dished his entire hand for that pretty much.
Yep, here comes Mog. First strike.
Probably blocks with Vasoya.
Or Garnet. Yep, there goes Vasoya. Tell me we got Chakra in hand. You could also, you know what you do? You could give Sabin haste with Interceptor, party attack, Edgar Sabin, Celeste trigger, get back Sabin.
Yeah.
And immediately Chakra.
He's got it in hand, I reckon. Oh no, Gao.
Oh, he's got Gao.
Yeah, he had that Gao for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. And Paul Scoops. Alright, 1 game apiece.
Just like last time, 2 very different looking games.
Mm.
Paul was able to get that early Rydia Une, and it just totally took over.
Yeah,
I mean, Anthony might be a new player, but he's on the verge of making the grand finals. If he can get his sequencing right and just make sure he's doing everything in the proper order and kind of bait. You know, Paul. It might seem like he's got infinite action abilities, but he's only got so many he can use. So if you can bait them out in the right order, he's got a shot.
Yeah, and I think to add all of those extra experts, I think Paul did sacrifice a little bit of consistency in his engine. Like, it's pretty consistent, but as you saw, he was wanting for Earth backups there, definitely.
Yeah. And Anthony got a lot of that, especially I think it was that 3rd or 4th turn. He got so many lock triggers on that turn.
Oh, yeah.
The old casual lock draw, I don't know, 20 cards? I'm all right with that.
Yeah. You know, if Paul can hold, trying to deck out, probably safer than trying to win with damage.
Mm-hmm. Anthony has left the table.
Anthony's just getting a jumper because he's cold.
Yeah, he's just getting a jumper because he's cold, apparently.
Oh, nice. So, as far as invites go, is everyone in the top 4 secure? Does this matter at all, or it's like just for invites' sake?
So everyone in the top 4 is secured. So Paul and Chris already have their invite. They're just playing for the buy into day 2 for Continentals. Whereas Daniel and Anthony did not have their invite, so they now have their invite.
Well, congratulations to all of them.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? Do you have your invite?
Yeah, I got mine from a pass down.
Nice.
From Chris at our store championship. So we'll see how that goes in October. ours is maybe one of the later ones.
You guys know what your format is? Like, are you doing 2-deck or what are you doing?
We have 2-deck best of 3 Swiss 6 rounds, I believe, day 1. And then, 2-deck double elimination. Best of 3 on winners bracket for the double elimination side. Losers bracket, I believe it's the same for everywhere. So I believe we've got the same for North America. So yeah, losers bracket is best of 1 hidden deck choice out of the 2 decks.
Ooh, very sneaky.
Yep. And then grand finals is best of 5 2-deck with a 1-game advantage to the winners bracket player. So the winners bracket player only needs to win 2 games, whereas the losers bracket player needs to win 3. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work with usual 2-deck rules, unless you because normally if you win with the deck you can't use it again, unless it's if you win with both decks, then you get free choice for the final round, assuming you're the losing bracket player. Because if you win with both decks as winning bracket player, then you win.
Very nice.
Ooh, Moogle was a good start again.
Just like his last start, he did throw out an extra Ico backup too, so he must have something good to curve into. I do see. I think it's either Interceptor or Shadow, maybe both. In Anthony's
definitely
hand.
Shadow. Pitches the demon.
Not the demon.
No, he's got another one in there, but
I know. I just like that card.
Looks like a Setzer in hand. That looks like
Yeah,
he's full out
interesting. I wonder why he didn't slap on the Setzer. Look, I think he has the Banana Sid too. Like, I think he actually has quite a few backups.
Unless he's hoping he can draw a I can understand wanting to play both Sid and Setzer. There probably is only 2 ice cards, so he's maybe hoping to draw another ice card so that he can play the Sid and then play Setzer normally.
Double 4-cost Sabin for turn. Oh, that's easy fodder.
Yeah.
Paul was going to go ahead and play the Sarah, draw into the Princess Sarah, immediately played off the Moogle.
Yeah.
Presumably now he's got everything he needs except for Earth.
Which, to be fair, is the problem he had last time. So let's see if
that's true. Yeah, that is a pretty core element.
Let's see if he finds a Tyro or a Kryl or Sarah Mobius. He's only got looks like five Earth backups. But yeah, I believe Paul is definitely going to be jumping onto the Moogle toolbox train after this.
But why is that?
Because he played against Chris. He actually beat Chris in Swiss. But he loves the look of the deck.
I gotcha.
It's a very Paul-like deck. And
I wonder what go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the color consistency issues that we're seeing if he doesn't have this Earth backup.
I wonder if Chris has a preference of which of these decks he faces. We actually throw out the Setzer. Go get Celeste. Ugh, I hope he's got another. I don't know about that, man. Setzer's such a key backup here. Like, I don't know if that was his only choice that he had to pitch one of those 2 ice cards, but
it would have been because he had the 2 ice cards. He had Gao. He drew 2 Sabins. Looks like there's an Edgar in there as well.
That is unfortunate. Well, then that means he can't even follow up with the Celeste. No, he had the lock.
Yeah, he had lock. He's probably fine discarding it for Celeste because it gets another lock, but
right.
It doesn't matter if you discard it for, say, Sid, and then search Celeste and then get lock again. You're still going to get the lock off Celeste just a turn later.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man, I don't know. I just hate to see that Setzer go. That's such a powerful card in this.
Yeah, it's
Especially if he can start freezing some of these backups early. Like, man, that's going to be good.
yeah, as good a card as the Demon is, Setzer was 100% the biggest buff to the Category 6 deck.
Yeah, absolutely. There were so many times I would play that deck and have the Celeste, but her partners were Edgar or Sabin. You're like, well, I can't party with them, so. And the sets are not only fixing that, but giving you another trigger on top of it is just so nice.
Yeah.
We going for an Une here? That could be pretty punishing. We did it last time. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And this was that huge punish we saw. Draws Realm and maybe a Unicorn? No, another Setzer. Okay, so he does have Setzer. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you just got to pay 5 for the lock here and then kind of try to just combo off as much as you can.
Yeah, it looks like what he might be trying to do. Unless he feels like he can just slowly rebuild the backups, because like Une is not going to be not going to put him under any pressure.
I think you do that with lock on the field, and then you're going to start getting all your value back. Like, and you're not really overpaying for lock anyway because you're tapping the Sid. So, and you have so much even cost. You've got the Shadow, you've got the Setzer, you've got the Celeste.
You don't have the Shadow.
He does give
anymore.
up. Yeah, he gave up the Shadow for that.
And Edgar.
And Edgar for Realm?
To search for another lock?
Huh. I don't know about that.
No.
You could have... Yeah, you could have just played Setzer. You could have just played Shadow. Like, why Realm?
Yeah, that's
you can't even
really
use
weird.
this card unless you're just going to throw it out for the Setzer. But... And Edgar's, again, one of your key pieces. Like, I don't know. If Anthony wins all this, I'll have to ask him for his secret text, because I have to admit I don't understand some of the plays, but... Pitches Sabin and lock. Yep. Puts out Celeste. Still doesn't put the Setzer down. Draws the Sabin he wants, but again, he has no fire CP.
Yeah, goes and gets
Searches lock again. Why not the discard? Like, unless he's going to put the Setzer down right now. I mean, none of these forwards can attack, though. You'll get another lock trigger. Huh. Just going ham. Maybe saying, well, you already used your Une removal. You don't have Shantoto, so go ahead. What are you going to do about this board? Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, there's the Setzer, lock trigger.
It's Terra, yep.
Terra could get back Unicorn next turn. Or potentially punish the... I mean, I can't see that Sabin coming down, but... Yeah, maybe that was the plan, was that, you know what? I'm just going to put out a bunch of forwards. You've already used one of your big removal pieces. What are you going to do about this?
Now, what are we seeing? Are we seeing another Rosa Cecil? Are we seeing a...
Yeah, Paul has to be mindful, because what's he going to get back?
Get back Fenrir.
Ooh.
Because he needs the CP.
Wait, what does that hit?
For Rydia.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't do anything here.
And Rosa, yep.
Yeah, okay.
And Cecil. Ooh, the big plays.
Pretty good response from Paul. And if he's got a free summon he can cast in turn. Oh, well, he ain't casted that Amaterasu.
No, that's a big hurt, but...
I can't see his hand. I don't know what he's got in there.
I'm going to assume that it's one of the 6-cost summons.
Okay, we can get the Sabin out, but we have to pitch other Sabin. That's not good. Plays the Terra, presumably gets
Yeah.
back Unicorn.
Yeah, I think we just.
You could even 8K the 8K the Une, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
then
does.
lock trigger.
He does. He just 8K'd the Une. Yep.
He can draw Fire CP to get this Sabin out.
Another Unicorn.
Oh no, the whiff, the first
Yeah.
whiff. He would have to wait till main 2, but if Paul can't stop the Celis trigger, yeah, I would say you could recur it with. Oh man, but I really like the idea of freezing out Paul's backups.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
This is
go,
kind of
go empty-handed for that. Does get a fire. He gets fire CP, but not the one he wanted. He wanted another
Right.
7 for sure. I didn't like that discard 7 for 7.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Like he's a blank card. If you don't have the Edgar or another one, he doesn't do anything. He's just a body.
It's 2 CP black belt.
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna Cecil change, get out Paladin Cecil. If Paul has both a great card to play off of this and a summon, my goodness. Well, and obviously he can draw off the Rosa, so he's gonna hope to draw into Warrior Light most likely, which can just pick off Realm, which is quite huge. Anthony trying to cut for his life.
Yep,
So draw for Rosa. And Cecil. What do we got? Nothing? Or no, we do have something. If it was, maybe it's Garnet.
He goes Leviathan.
I guess he didn't have any. Oh, is he trying to get something back?
Probably, yeah.
Is there a Warrior of Light in there?
I did see a Tyro in his hand. There's definitely. So
he can't play Tyro though. It's got to be 4 or less.
Yeah.
Bounces lock. I mean, I feel like you. This is tough. I think you have to Celeste party trigger. You have to freeze Unai and one of the backups, probably the Moogle.
Oh, you get 3 freezes, so because you got the Setzer as well.
Yeah, but he's got to pay. He's gonna have to pay both, so he's gonna discard the lock. I would personally let the Setzer fizzle, and I would let the Celeste take out the Unai and the Moogle. He's gonna get the Sabin, but I don't know. Like, you cannot let this Unai get that Leviathan back. You cannot let that happen. Granted, he could kill the Unai here.
Yeah, does freeze Unai, pays attacks.
So I guess... So did he recover and then he let the Setzer Dull freeze the Unai? Is that what happened?
Looks like.
He could have killed Unai, because remember, didn't he do 8,000 damage earlier with the Terra? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he could have got back the Sabin and killed it.
And then you don't even have to worry about like freezing it every turn. It's just down.
Yep. Just freezes fire back up with Setzer. Takes the damage. That's right.
Not a burst, but I don't think Paul's too sad to see that go, since it would have been a dead card for him. And he's just going to hope he can draw into a new Rydia.
He does have a 7 in hand.
He does, but the other card is lock. So if you do that, you're giving up lock. I don't like... You can just do it on his turn. You can wait, see what he does. You can, and if you absolutely have to, for whatever reason, you can just pop it on his turn.
Oh,
now he's going to do it now.
Joe's get rid of the Cecil. Let Sune survive.
And Anthony making me nervous because this is just like way too aggressive for me playing, but I mean, maybe it'll pay off. Depends if Paul can get a big summon to use off Iridia here. But yeah, that lock could have given you so much value on the next turn.
And he's already gone through pretty much all of his locks of every description as
Yeah,
well.
because he went digging that very unconventional turn with the lock, and then the realm cop, and get the other lock, and then he was just searching every
I think
lock
he's
in
got
existence.
just the 2 Opus 20 locks left in his deck, I think. Or is it 1?
And the other thing is too, if Paul drew into another Cecil, now he can play it this turn. So I kind of wish he'd held off on the Cecil, because just make it more awkward for him. I don't think Paul did, but if he did, he'd get the Rosa benefit. Yeah. Now, granted, I guess you could say that, well, he could have used the Princess Sarah to buff the Cecil to keep her from dying. So maybe that was a concern.
Discards the Tyro for a Sawyer.
Will be 3. Get back the Leviathan anyway. Yep.
Yep.
Can't keep all these summons down.
Maybe bounce to Setzer.
Yeah, I think you 100% bound.
Yeah, you got Leviathan to bounce Sabin or Celis. So
yeah.
I think you probably bounce Realm if you can get Sabin off the field some other how, but otherwise, yeah, Celis or Sabin.
Yep, so draw, get back Leviathan. I mean, Anthony has no response to this. His hand is empty, so it's just a matter of who you bounce. I think you 100% just hit Setzer. I guess if you want him to replay Terra, maybe you're like, yeah, go ahead and pay 4 for that again, but...
Yeah, without the Cecil on the field, it opens up to actually losing your Une. I mean, at the moment, Une's just doing its best Charlotte impersonation.
Yeah. Soak up every dull freeze. Yep, put Setzer back in hand.
Yeah, Paul's still just starved for Earth CP though.
He is. Is he about to change that?
He's got 5 in hand. He might just sit.
He's got a Tyro, but obviously he's gonna have to way overpay if he slams it down now. But you could set up. You'd be ready for Warrior of Light on your next turn. Your opponent's in top deck mode. Like I don't hate that.
Yeah, I do see. You actually had 3 Earth cards in hand, including the Tyro. I think there was a Rydia that he got back ages ago.
Unlike last game, you've got your Rydia online. Your opponent can't really do anything about this card.
Yeah.
Interesting. Opts for Garnet. Just free breaks the Terra. Paul looking in complete control now.
Yeah. I think at this point you basically have to just replay Setzer.
Even so, there's no way there's an attack's going off with this Celis. It's just going to get bounced by Leviathan.
Yeah.
I think Anthony's too far behind now at this point. I don't underestimate 6, but I don't know. I just really didn't like that early. Like he had a good setup too. He had so many backups to pick from. He had the Edgar, and he just like threw away everything on this kind of strange lock realm play. That
was. He's not dead. I reckon you do just... yeah.
Yeah, he has to keep the Une down, so he basically is forced to party attack. Because I think with Fusoya and Garnet now on the field, I think that's all of Paul's summon recursion.
Yeah, it is.
I'm Paul here too. Actually, I think I just step either Garnet or Fusoya in front and kill the Sabin. And then potentially you can replay another one next turn.
Yeah, throws Garnet under the bus. Kills the Sabin. Yeah, Paul 100% in control now.
Yeah, because now Anthony can't even trigger a party attack next turn. No interceptor, no...
Yeah, even though both Paul and Anthony are both from the same state, they're from different, different communities. So Anthony wouldn't have had a chance to play against a deck like Paul's particularly often. I think Anthony's from the same community as Ethan is, and Paul's from almost outside of Melbourne with Khalil.
Oh, nice.
So
does the Tyro play one turn later? But no big deal. He's under zero pressure at this point.
Yeah, he's fully stabilized. To start poking with Warrior of Light next turn.
He needs Demon right now, and he did not get it.
No.
Well, and he didn't. Again, I think Demon is quite strong in this matchup. It's immune to the Porum. Like, Warrior Light can't take it out. I kind of wonder why he didn't value that card more. It's the only way he has of killing that break zone so he can stop all this recursion. Like,
yeah, it's a huge card on the map. Even just the break zone removal is huge in this matchup. All of the summon-based decks, so all of the Rydia decks, Moogle Toolbox, all rely super heavily on their break zone. So Mr. Dragon or the Demon hurts that pretty badly.
he's looking at his break zone, but he's not going to find any answers in there. Holding on for a miracle.
Plays the Celeste.
Gets rid of Interceptor, puts out Celeste, which, I mean, I don't know if he's even got any locks left to get.
He's looking, though. I think he's got one.
I think you go for the, like, your only hope is the Opus 20 Legend one now.
Yeah.
And just pray you can get off a board wipe. I don't see that happening, but...
Yeah, he had one of each left. He goes for the Opus 15 one.
Yeah, like that. Because even if he slaps that down right now, he's got nothing to generate off of it.
No.
Une will untap, and at that point, he's just going to send it packing.
Yeah, he's probably just thinking that he's, if he plays it now, maybe he'll have a 9k blocker. But again, he's not going to die next turn. You just hold on to it. Try and have a bigger turn next turn. Yeah, which is what he does. Une is, however, back. And Warrior of Light. Yeah, Paul definitely in a very good position now.
Oh, absolutely.
And he did beat Chris in Swiss as well. Admittedly, he had like the nuts. This is one of those games where you have every answer to everything.
Yeah. Chris would get to go first in that matchup, right? Because he's the higher seed.
Yeah, Chris is the 2 seed. So
Yep, and attack with Warrior of Light. Go ahead and ping off the realm. I'm not sure what Anthony's considering. Even if he has the unicorn in hand, I think locks the other card. Or maybe he was thinking about trying to save it with the unicorn. I don't know.
Yeah, Paul normally high rolls Chris in Swiss and then loses in Top Cut. Throwing out.
See, I'm kind of surprised he didn't attack with like Fusoya. Oh gosh, Cecil for him. Don't forget, Rydia goes to 10 counters.
Yep.
Now even the demon doesn't do anything.
No. I mean, it still removes the break zone, but yeah, that's basically nothing at this point.
So less 2 cards you already have on the field is not what you want to draw for turn. Not that I think anything would have bailed him out here, but
yeah.
Shantoto, that's what you need. Shantoto, and somehow your opponent doesn't have Amaterasu.
Yeah, no, it's just he's going to throw down Lock, and then probably that's about it. There's Lock. Can't quite make out what the other cards are.
A Celeste and something else. Yeah, Paul stopped counting the counters after 6, but technically Rydia's on like 10 counters right now, so we could recast Arc. There goes Celeste.
Yep.
Get back Garnet.
Can replay Garnet.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony's just...
Ooh, flashing in the Gal. That's what the other 2 cards were. 2 Gals.
Well, he will get a lock trigger. And all sets are back up. I mean, he could replay the Celeste. Like, Paul's deck is so based on combos, too. If those early Celestes that Anthony, or early Celeste that Anthony had chosen, if he had done the discard instead of the searching, like, I think it could have really hurt him.
Yeah, I think definitely. And he'd still have, like, an extra lock in his deck.
Yeah, but Immortal God, they saw each other's deck list beforehand, so he knows there's no Shantoto. Obviously, that wouldn't have mattered in Swiss, but in the top cut, everyone knew he didn't have it.
Get back Leviathan again.
And the cycle continues.
Now it's Lock again. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, there's no reason to pick any of the others.
Yep. And you can attack with...
I think you can win this turn. I think you can just swing out and win with everyone.
Nothing. Everyone's too small, even with the power buff from Cecil. So
Warrior of Light, ping off the Gao.
Yep.
Anthony searching his break zone for a surprise back attack Shantoto, I would guess.
Yeah, go. It's what every deck needs in this situation. That 0 CP back attack Shantoto castable from any zone.
Yeah, right. A little desperation play.
Yeah, Immortal God, I don't know why you wouldn't play Une in this deck. No, the only card that comes close to matching Une is Man in Black, and that's too hard to work with the elements that Paul's running.
And there's the demon into damage.
The last demon. Here's the other one, is right on the bottom of his break zone.
Legit, just Une to get back Leviathan to pay for the. We hard cast it. Yep, yeah. So he bounces the Celeste, and now he's just going in for victory.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing he can do.
No. He might have like 5 cards in hand at the start of next turn, and there's still nothing he can do at that point.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's living to the next turn. Rydia's going to be 4. Yeah, technically the Rydia attack needs to come through because Warrior of Light hit Demon and Rosa hit Strago.
No, he screwed up. He shuffled his deck off of the Strago instead of
putting it
on bottom.
You were supposed to... Oh, there you go. That's how he wins. Disqualify Paul. Illegal action. Paul was clearly in complete control and was going to win this match, but due to the illegal shuffling, you have to give him a game loss.
Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to confer with Khalil. We'll just go and make a judge call on, because the deck shouldn't have been cut. So give us a bit.
Sure. So, oh my god, fans, can you imagine if this actually ends that way? I mean, I don't know I don't know what official rulings are, but oh my gosh, if this actually ended in something insane because he illegally cut his opponent's deck. I don't know what the rules are. Wouldn't that be what a way to lose if that happened? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, no way. I don't know. Is there, if anyone has a link to rules or like tournament etiquette, or I don't think that's covered in the advanced rules, does it? Did his opponent indicate I don't know. Obviously, we can't hear, or I can't hear, so I don't know if anything was said. But I mean, the legit only they need to do one of two things, right? Like either disqualify Paul if that's what's in the rules, or just give him the win here because he's obviously going to win off this tack push. Yeah, the game's 100% over in Paul's favor. So at the same time, I guess if you want to be a stickler for the rules, like if that is a DQ for doing like an illegal deck shuffle, then and I guess if you want to follow those rules, or you should follow those rules, I don't know if I don't really think you're supposed to make an exception just because it like feels bad. Did Anthony ask Paul to DQ himself? I missed it. Yeah, I mean, there's always that option, right? Ask your opponent, like, are you willing to throw here? But again, I have no clue what like proper tournament rules, etiquette, punishment for that kind of stuff is. If this were Magic, I know in Magic in the past, like, yeah, that's a game loss if you were to shuffle your opponent's deck like that when you're not supposed to. You can't do that. It's illegal play or whatever, illegal sportsmanship, something like that. Well, no, yeah, it's he could be the only way Anthony could win is he is allowed to, for free from either his break zone deck wherever, put down every backup he wants, put down every forward he wants, and then on his turn he does the lock board clear trigger. And even then, that might not matter because Paul has Porum and Amaterasu. The only way Anthony wins is to discard all of Paul's hand, blank all of his forwards, and then go borrow Shantoto from Matiski and free play it onto the board. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Can I rewind the stream and tell us what cards went to the bottom, or ask chat? Chat, did you see which cards went to the bottom? I don't know if I can live rewind the stream. I don't think I have that power. Oh, Travis, while this is happening, I have a question. Why does Square Enix not want Type 0 cadets to be relevant? Ha! That should be on one of my Q&A videos. If I knew the answer to that, I would be a whole nickel richer. No, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. Like, you can kind of guess that they probably push things like Category 7 because it has a quote-unquote relevant current game, right, with the FF7 remake. I mean, Cadets Type 0 is an old game, but a lot of those games are old, so I don't know. I don't know why, Setzer is allowed party color fixing. Like, they've added it to some colors. I don't know why they don't add it to Cadets. I would think you'd want everything to be relevant. Like, you'd want every category to have a chance, every tribal. So according to official warning, this penalty can be applied against legal action effect by having and taking damage. This can also be applied where multiple cautions for the same. They're reviewing the tape. When taking the airdrop, you could see in his face on shuffling. Yeah, I feel like shuffling your opponent's deck has a more serious incursion to it. because it's not like you oops. I don't know. Okay, looks
All
like
right.
whatever they decided.
Yep.
All right, so what's
All
the word? Give me the scoop.
So the word is Paul gets an official warning but we were able to reverse the game state thanks to the tape, and therefore it's only an official warning and not a game loss. So it's basically the highest punishment for a reversible game state.
Okay. All right. So as expected before that little kerfluffle snafu, Paul takes it as he absolutely should have.
Yep.
As far as the game state goes, and
we're back to regular scheduled Paul versus Chris for the grand final. I think after that we'll give Paul give Paul 5 or 10 minutes to recover.
A bit of a break.
Yep.
And it will be Chris and Paul.
Cool. So we can start getting that set up. Chris and Paul in the finals. So we'll have 2 multicolor warrior light decks.
Excellent. Well, I need a quick break too then, so I'll go get a snack and fill up my water, and I guess we'll be back pretty soon.
No worries. I will switch this over and see you in about 10 minutes.
See you in all in a moment for the finals.